Hello, it's JANG here with a look at the LEGO Minecraft Nether Fortress. The set comes with 571 pieces, and it's fairly straightforward because you can see everything right from here. So let's go ahead and get right into it. On the right hand side is a bit of a tower structure with an overlook, which has just a little bit of length of nether brick fence on it. Down below that, the second, or really the main level, has a couple little bits of nether wart at two different levels of ripeness. The one on the far left is fully ripe, and in between there is a chest, just a discoverable generated chest, and that has inside of it a gold sword and a couple of just little stud pieces to represent diamonds. I should point out that they are using the color dark brown to represent soul sand here. Just a little bit of brick texture on the side, and then down below is where some of the lava lake is. There's also a nether quartz ore block right there. A couple of different types of, or both types of mushrooms are growing. Just a little bit of lava flow there. A couple little flare-ups, a few of those around there. And I like how they built the little fire assemblies, and each of these can be taken off. They're just putting these removable things on simple jumpers so they can be moved around to different places, but that looks pretty good. They had to use the white underneath to really bring out the brightness of it all, and I think it was a good choice. Light gray is used to represent gravel, and a lot of it, and this is where you get to the most recognizable feature here. I actually have a pair of supports of the Nether Fortress bridge system. This one over here actually has the game accurate 4 vertical lines. This one only has 3, but on the other side you'll find 4 on both of the supports. It's just part of how the structure had to work out here in order to make this go together properly with enough strength. But here you can really see just how comically scaled down the whole thing is. Relative to a figure, it's just completely miniaturized, as is the ghast compared to a figure in terms of its scale. Size notwithstanding though, the build of the ghast is actually pretty nice. It uses studs on pretty much every side for its construction. It is unfortunate that I got unlucky with the colors. There's a noticeable difference. I'm not sure if it's going to show so much in the video, but to my eyes there's a very noticeable difference in the brightness of the white between that upper tile, the printed tile here on the front, and the lower one. The lower one is much brighter, and the upper one is more yellowish looking actually. But those are prints. They are not they're not stickers, so that comes pre-applied. I appreciate that. It's got tiles on the sides here, tiles on the back there. Doesn't have the correct number of tentacles hanging down from below, kind of its legs, but it's close enough. It looks pretty good for this scale, and it has a really nice, really clever feature built into it. They give you a couple of extra printed tiles with this set, or actually they give you one extra one. You can take those 2 off. This is the alternate face, and then they give you a couple of non-printed tiles to fill in the space on the side, and that is a stud shooter that's built into the center of this thing. They include a couple of little transparent red studs. You can place one in there, and notice up here on the top, you'll just barely see it here, pushes up. A little section of that pushes up, and that's the trigger mechanism, a remote trigger mechanism that by default is hidden away. You push down on the top of the head, shoots out your little miniature fireball. That's pretty clever. It's just so simple how that's hidden away. Let me get one more stud and load that up, show you how that works. Just push it in, and up that comes. It's just pushing down on the normal little trigger in there. Works pretty well. Back to the structure, there is one thing that I want to point out here that you can change very easily. You can hinge the whole thing out to make it look like a broken little bit of a system where the blocks just kind of hang in midair where it didn't generate fully, and that's why they had to use this single longer piece here so that could actually stick out. That's done pretty nicely, and I think it might actually look a little bit better, the whole thing, in this kind of arrangement. It just looks a little bit more complete and more believable, except for the scale, of course. They have a little bit of vertical structure that's built up here, and it's actually supposed to represent nether rack. They don't have 2 different colors for nether rack and nether brick, so it's unfortunate they just don't have a color that's close enough. to netherrack that's different enough from dark red in the current color inventory that LEGO has. So they use the same color for both. So this is netherrack against a wall, or it could just be freestanding. Again, a couple different little outcroppings of mushrooms there, some naturally generated lava flow here, some gravel, and then they also stuck a couple of blocks of glowstone there, which is an interesting color combination. I think it works out respectably well. There are other choices they could have gone with, but I understand the choice of colors here. And interestingly, the little white looking stud pieces are actually glow in the dark pieces. So if you charge them up with a really bright light and then turn off all the lights in the room, you'll get a little bit of glow there. It doesn't last very long. Glow in the dark stuff really doesn't work all that well nowadays, but it will glow pretty well. It just kind of fades away pretty quickly. There's a little bit of a mechanism behind here as well that has a nice little bit of homage to how things go in the game. When you get naturally generated gravel, oftentimes, or at least sometimes, you'll find that it'll be in an unstable state in the game, where if you disturb anything close to it, you'll get whole banks of gravel that will fall. And they've done something that kind of responds to that, or gives, again, like I said, homage to that with the glowstone here. If you disturb the glowstone, like you're trying to, you build up a little tower of your own just to get to it, and then you try to mine this, it'll mess with the gravel that's nearby, and the gravel will fall, as will the lava, because the lava is falling into a pit in that gravel. So when that gravel goes away, the lava falls down, the gas falls off the bridge over to the side, but that's not intentional. But the lava just falls straight through, so it's kind of simulating that you've got a dangerous little lava flow that can just appear and can make it down below. So if you've got PvP on, you can have a player under there and you can use it as a trap and you can burn them up. It's like I said, a nice little thing that they did that's inspired by actual behaviors in the game. I think that it's not going to provide all that much fun for play for kids, but it is nice that there is something in here that transforms, that does something. Another block of nether quartz there, a couple more bits of fire. Again, the same colors being used for netherrack, so this is intended to represent netherrack here, so it would always have the flame that would never go out. And this is dark brown over here, so this is actually representing more soul sand. They've done a pretty nice job with the portal. It's actually a 5x6x1 panel piece in transparent purple, and it's just partially hidden or partially embedded into the structure of everything. I think they did well with the obsidian kind of design here, bringing in just a little bit of those purple studs. But if you look at this from the other side, you'll see how that panel is really embedded in, where it gets, the obsidian parts get narrower here. And that was just to try to make the aspect ratio a little bit more believable, a little bit more correct when viewed from the other side. However, they also placed this in a way that allows it to come out easily. And they're representing overworld. Like, this is the overworld side over here, and then your underworld side, your actual nether side, is over here. So it's kind of representing the two dimensions. So by default, you can have the portal open where you can travel through, and then you can close it up behind you, or you can see it as being an inactive portal that you have to strike up, light it up to actually activate that. It's kind of different ways that you can look at it. The set includes one Steve, one Alex, one Blaze, and one zombie pigman. You get the full set of diamond armor, which can be placed on either of your player characters, plus an extra diamond helmet. You get the diamond pickaxe, which is a really important one, a very valuable accessory to have, and also a diamond sword. I appreciate the use of the diamond stuff in the larger set for this wave. Makes sense. I think the build of the Blaze is pretty good. I especially appreciate the stand with the two clear studs and the one trans black, smoky colored, appropriately smoky colored 1x1 plate piece. They've got just the print on one side, and they did use the same type of head piece for that Blaze as they do for all the other characters, so that'll fit onto a minifig regular torso if you want to use it as a minifig head. And the zombie pigman has nice printing that goes all the way down from the head literally to the toes, and they include one more golden sword to go with him or her or it. Alex is the only one who actually gets print on the back, which is actually a pretty good one. And there's what the player characters look like without any armor. The instructions also include a little bit of rebuild inspiration, where they show you specifically how to take apart one side of the whole build and then change it up. So you take all those pieces, basically cannibalize them out and make it into a longer structure. You know, take some of the height out of it and just add some width. I personally don't like the look of that so much, but it does have good play value because it just kind of opens up your playable space quite a lot. You know, I do not envy the designer of this set making something in Lego that represents a Minecraft setting, a known Minecraft setting, you know, something that's generated, is very tough. Because if you want to do it to any even semi-realistic scale, it requires hundreds and thousands of pieces. I know this from experience. It's rough, and you just can't do stuff like that if you're making a set that's going to be sold to the public, because you can't sell a $1,000 set that represents just a piece of a Nether Fortress. So they had to scale things down dramatically to make it work in this set, and I think they got the overall shapes, you know, especially for the bridge section. I think that looks really good, and they got it down to 571 pieces. That's pretty respectable. However, in terms of value, that gets kind of rough here, because this set has around 10% more pieces than the Desert Outpost set, but it costs around a third more. The price per part ratio with this set is not good. It is not good at all. But price per part doesn't mean everything, of course, but then I come back to what I always come back to for a real judge of value, and that's the volume of stuff, how much stuff that you get here. And this doesn't have a lot of large pieces, which is good in many ways, but there's nothing here to really, I feel, justify the super high price per part ratio for this set. Please share a comment down below with your thoughts about the design of this set, and also what you think about its value based on its retail price in your region or in your country. I really appreciate that feedback. It'll be good to see what different people think. Thank you for watching the video. I hope that I showed you everything you wanted to see about this set, and I hope that you'll stick around to check out more of my videos, because more are on the way very soon.